Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Facebook Live today. I am April in Driver Recruiting, here with my coworker Deanna, and we are going to talk all about how to pay for CDL training. So I know that's a very broad question, but nowadays, especially with the crazy times we've been living in, a lot of people are probably looking for other employment opportunities out there. So brings up a really valid question. How do we go about getting our Class A CDL? And there's a lot of different ways to do it. Here at Schneider, we have a lot of different programs, and that's what Deanna and I are going to talk about today and kind of go through each program individually. I do want to let everybody know we are live on Facebook, so please send in messages that you may have, questions, comments, and we will try to answer as many as possible. So just wanted to kind of kick things off for, someone that maybe doesn't know a lot about the industry as a whole. How much does it even cost to get your Class A? So on average, I would say it's probably about $3,000 to about $7,000 seems to kind of be the norm. And the other question that seems to be really popular is, well, how long does it take to get that Class A? And the real thing with that is it depends on the school and the program that you go to. There might be 2-week schools out there, and there could be some that are part-time that take, a couple of months. So it's really up to you and the program that you pick if you do it on your own, but we'll go into more detail on what we have here at Schneider. So to kick things off, Deanna, do you want to talk a little bit about the company-sponsored CDL training that we have and kind of go through what that program consists of?
Sure. So before I start that, I just want to say congratulations for taking the first step in a new start of a new career. Sometimes when you start something new, you get frustrated or just anxious about it and you don't know where to start. I think what we're doing today is a great way for you to get, informed about it and what we as a Schneider has available for people that want to get started with their CDL. So yeah, April, we have the company-sponsored CDL training. What this one is that we are actually currently partnering with selected schools around the country. And we help you get your Class A CDL license through those schools to be able to drive tractor trailer for Schneider. One of the great things that Schneider does is that we just don't want you to get your Class A CDL license and then say, oh, what's available to you. The recruiters actually want you to know we have a position for you once you get done with the school. So they talk to you about home time and your pay and benefits and any kind of specific position that you're looking for. So then you can say, oh, maybe that's not right, but oh, this other one I think is great. So then you can, when you do go to school through us, you're not worrying about, well, am I going to have a job when I get out? Because you will have a job ready for you so you can start orientation with us. Because we want to make sure that you are successful. Because if you're successful, Schneider as a whole is successful. So how this program works is that we pay for your schooling up front for you. And all we ask for in return is that you have a 12-month work commitment. What does that mean? As long as when you finish up with school, you come aboard with us and drive for us for at least 12 months. We don't take anything out of your paychecks. It's just that if you're driving for us for those 12 months, there's absolutely no cost to you. For our schools here, the lengths of the schools vary between 2 weeks and 4 weeks. It all depends on whichever school is the right fit for you. One of the call outs for this particular program is that because we're paying for your school up front, you're going to go to school. You will not get paid during that school because you are not a Schneider employee. But once you get finished up with that, we get you right over into orientation. You'll get a driver number and you get paid day one of the orientation. So that's a little bit about the company-sponsored CDL training.
Great, and thanks so much for all that information. The next program that I really wanted to cover is called our CDL Apprenticeship Training Program. So a lot of drivers and us as recruiters in the operations kind of consider it a CAT program for short because it's easier than saying CDL Apprenticeship Training Program all the time. So what this program consists of is it is a 5-week program. It is paid during that 5 weeks. So the driver receives $80 a day during that time of training. The requirements for this one is that you do have to have your Class A permit prior to starting the program. In order to get enrolled in the program, you would still have to apply on Schneider Jobs. You would go through a pre-application interview with a recruiter here at Schneider to get you pre-qualified. And at that time, you already would pick out which position that you're going to be hiring to. So the stress of, like, oh my gosh, once I go through this program, what am I going to, what position am I going to take? That is alleviated from you, which is really nice. Going in on day one, once you're done with those 5 days, what that position is going to be, what the schedule, the pay, all those details are already figured out for you. So as far as if you have your Class A permit, for some states, you also may have to have your DOT physical as well, but that is dependent on the state. So make sure to look into that as well and talk to your recruiter about that. During that 5-week program, you are doing in-classroom training. You are out on the road with a training engineer, preparing as much as possible for that final Class A road test. So it's really like taking orientation here at Schneider and truck driving school and putting them together into a 5-week paid program. We also do cover your lodging during this time, and we do cover most of your meals as well. So a really great program as well. There is, I know, a commitment. Deanna, do you know, is it a 9-month or a 1-year commitment I'm having a brain fart on that apprenticeship program?
It's 9 months.
9 months? 9 months. Okay. So there is a commitment that you do have to stay with the company for 9 months. But I mean, 9 months is not a long length of time to be able to have your Class A pretty much completely given to you, other than having to get that permit on your own. So another really great program that we have here at Schneider. We do have, it looks like, a question coming in. This is from Lloyd. I haven't driven a truck in 9 years. Do I still need to complete driving training to come back to Schneider? Great question, Lloyd. Thanks for messaging in. So if you have driven in the last 10 years, we can count any of that Class A credit in the last 10 years to credit you some of that experience. You would have to still do an orientation with us. Every driver that's coming aboard here at Schneider would still have to do the orientation, but definitely give us a call and a recruiter can go over positions with you and give you more details. Let's see here. The next program, do you want to talk a little bit about Veteran Affairs and the military, Deanna, and kind of cover how that can help out in truck driving to get your Class A and with truck driving school?
Oh, sure. So, so the Veterans Affairs Education Benefits is for anybody that is currently serving or prior military. Before I get into it, I just want to say thank you so much for your service, because Schneider is it's for sure a military-friendly company. So if you're looking to get your CDL license, you have your GI benefits, and you're thinking, well, what can I do to put those together to help pay for it? Schneider has a great resources here to help you do that. We actually have a department with the military. They have military recruiting specialists. And what they do is they talk to you about how to use your GI benefits and how to utilize them the best of your ability. And there's 2 different ways to actually contact that department. So one of the ways is if you're on schneiderjobs.com and you want to apply, you want to get the ball rolling, even if you don't have your Class A CDL license yet, or you don't even know the next step, I would suggest you just apply to this specific account. It is, the job ID number is 190040. It's 190040. And you'll be in the right spot because it's called the Military Veterans CDL Training and Truck Driving Jobs. So you apply to that, and one of the military recruiting specialists will give you a call and discuss all the options that you have. And they're a great resource because they know the ins and outs of using your GI benefits and how to do that. Another way to talk to them, if you're not ready to put an application, you can actually call them directly as well. It is 1-800-VETS-CDL. I'm sorry, that's not right. It's 866. Don't use 1-800. It's 866 VETS CDL. That's 866 VETS CDL. And then I'll get you right over to the military recruiting specialists as well. they've got great resources. So just apply.
Awesome. And we have some more questions coming in. So kind of going back to our question board, thank you everybody that is tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. Keep those questions coming. So we have one from Shane. It says, just got my Class A with tankers and doubles and triples. So first of all, congratulations. And he goes on to say, what is the typical cents per mile to start new? So great question, kind of a loaded question. It really depends, how much Class A experience you have, but it also depends on what position you're applying for. Every single position has a different cents per mile or pay package. Some of our accounts are not cents per mile. They may be like a daily rate or an hourly rate. So best way to answer the question while we're doing the Facebook Live, Shane, is simply give us a call and talk to a recruiter. Or you also can, put in your zip code into Schneider Jobs to help at least see what's available in your area. And then certainly we can give you all the information on the pay, sign-on bonuses, and what those positions look like in more detail. We have another question coming in from Lee. Do you have any dedicated accounts in, and then he gives the zip code. So yes, we probably do. Once again, really just depends on what's available in your area. Biggest recommendation, go to schneiderjobs.com and you can see instantly what's available. Have another one here. I graduated in June of 2021, or I graduate in June of 2021, sorry, from Diesel Driving Academy in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Can't wait to join the team. Awesome. Cannot wait to have you come aboard. And that actually jumps into another program that we have here at Schneider that I want to highlight today, and that is our tuition reimbursement program. So for drivers that have found their own truck driving school, whether you're about to start or haven't even looked at what school you want to apply to yet, we do have a tuition reimbursement program. The way that program works is once you are hired on here at Schneider, 30 days after your date of hire, we can start to reimburse you back for that tuition that you paid. So for example, we're just going to say you paid out of pocket $5,000 to this truck driving school. And Deanna is your recruiter, and you have to ask her about, you'd have to say, okay, how do I sign up for tuition reimbursement? Because it's done with your recruiter. So if I was the driver, what I would need to provide to Deanna would be documentation. You can send this via email showing how much school costed in total, almost like an invoice. So the name of the school has to be on there, your personal information, like, name, address, phone number, and then stating that school costed $5,000 in total. The other document that needs to be provided is then a receipt of payment. So, say you use your credit card and you paid 5 different payments of $1,000 each. You would need to show each of those receipts that we can see that you did indeed pay, for that full amount. Then 30 days after your date of hire, after you submitted this documentation, we will actually reimburse you back $200 a month directly back to you on your paycheck. If you are a Teams driver, you actually get $400 a month back in that tuition reimbursement. And then the other question is, okay, what if I paid with a loan? I, didn't have the money to pay out of pocket, which, hey, I understand truck driving school is expensive. The loan might be the way to go. We actually can still work with that as well. You would just provide your loan information. Sometimes we are able to pay the loan agency back directly, and we don't have to have you as the middleman or middlewoman. We can just pay right to the agency. Other times, if it doesn't work with the agency, the money will still come directly back to you on your paycheck. So really another great opportunity. With this program, one of the questions I get asked the most is, what if I went to school 3 years ago? Am I eligible? Sadly, you are not eligible for tuition reimbursement unless it's within the last year that you attended. So just have to be, aware of when you graduated. For new hires, I recommend get that tuition reimbursement in right away and have that start working for you so it kicks in that 30 days after date of hire. Looks like we're getting some more questions in here. So it looks like this one's from Steve. I have class 5, which assumingly would be equivalent to your class A. Can you tell me if I'm able to drive for you and where you are based? So we are based, our headquarters is in Green Bay, Wisconsin, but we are all over the United States. As far as the class 5, to be honest, I'm not familiar with a class 5. Deanna, are you familiar with class 5 at all?
No.
No. My biggest recommendation, Steve, is I would assume you would need to have the valid class A license. But, give us a call. We can definitely look into that further. But, we need the valid class A license so that you are DOT compliant. But maybe there's something that you stumped me on. So I still would like you to give us a call and we can look into that further for you. Let's see here. It looks like Julius also sent in a message. I'm a trucker. I have a total training card with my CDL. Tell me what to do. Well, if you're looking to come aboard here at Schneider, Julius, what you have to do is put your zip code into schneiderjobs.com, and all of the positions that are available in your area are going to populate or show up on your screen. You click the position that you want to apply to, and then our application is very simple, does not take a lot of time to do. And then you can either call us or we will call you once we receive that application, and you would have to do a formal interview to then get pre-qualified to come aboard here at Schneider. So going back to our talking points, Deanna, just trying to see here if there's any other info that we really need to cover for our programs that we offer. The one call out that I wanted to make is we do have a phone number that you guys can call, and it will go directly to our No CDL department. That way, if you are brand new to the trucking game and you want some more information, that number to call is 877-872-1766. And that way you can talk to someone directly. Deanna, I know you said you called it this morning and you were not on hold and you got to talk to somebody right away, right?
Yep, and you don't even need to push any numbers like press 1 to get to this, press 2 to get to this. You have a person right away at your fingertips.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. And another question I know that we've been getting is that if you do not have your CDL and you still want to start the application process with us, because there might be multiple options that are at your fingertips of, do I do tuition reimbursement? Do I try the apprenticeship program? What you can do is if you go to schneiderjobs.com, on the right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see the words that say need CDL training ? If you click on that, it will bring you to an application to get you pre-qualified to come aboard here at Schneider. And then that application will let us know that you're looking to see what CDL options are available in your area. And a recruiter will be able to go through in more detail with you of all the different options, that are available. All right, Deanna, any other things that we need to cover? Anything else that we missed at all for our main topics today? Anything to add?
The financial aid part of it, that we do financial aid as well.
Yes. Are you referring, you mean like the grants and such that we were talking about, like financial aid? Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So one other program that we have as well, there is more information on this on schneiderjobs.com. But there is a lot of different aid programs out there through government grants that also can help you fully pay for truck driving school. So if you're looking to have a third party be able to pay some or all of truck driving school for you, definitely look into grants that you would be eligible for in your area, because that is certainly an option that some drivers are able to do as well. Another question that I know I get a lot as a recruiter that I did want to cover as well is how many hours or driving hours do I need to have before Schneider will accept me as a driver? Or do I need to finish, just for example here, like 120 hours at truck driving school? We do not have any requirements on how many hours you need to have completed before you can, apply to come aboard here at Schneider. So as long as you have that valid Class A, you certainly can apply. Or if you're even working on getting your Class A or haven't even started yet, put in that application and we can help you at any point in the game to be able to bring you aboard here at Schneider. I'm just going to take a peek here and see if there's any other questions that we had coming in. And there is one that I wanted to cover as well, kind of speaking of getting your Class A, is should I get my endorsements? And it's a very valid question to ask. In my personal opinion, I think it's best to get those endorsements right away because they're never going to hurt you. They're only going to open up more opportunities and more potential for you, especially with getting that hazmat and tanker endorsement. Then you have the option of being able to drive tanker. Tanker, if you're looking to make money, is one of the higher paid departments that we have because of hauling that bulk liquid chemical. And sometimes it is a hazardous chemical. So, definitely if you're looking to make the most money, I recommend, and having more opportunities, getting those endorsements right off the bat. We do have a reimbursement program for hazmat. It does depend on which account you are going to, but certainly something to ask your recruiter about as well. So I just wanted to, Deanna, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just saying when it comes to hazmat, know that you are getting that endorsement. You don't have to freak out or anything when they say, well, it's going to take you 6 weeks or whatever to actually get the endorsement because they have to do fingerprinting to do a background check. So we understand that and we definitely take that into consideration. It wouldn't hold you up from coming aboard with Schneider or any of that kind of stuff. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, certainly. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today and all of the great questions and comments, and for having Deanna come on the video with us. We always appreciate having other people featured on these videos from Schneider. Definitely anybody that has any questions, feel free to give us a call at 800-44-PRIDE. Go to schneiderjobs.com and see what's available in your area. And, definitely consider getting that Class A CDL because it just opens up so many opportunities, and certainly consider Schneider as a potential employer. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great day.